Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
Hi there, I'm Robin Savage, stand-up comic. Are you sick of the news getting pushed around by two sides, always saying the other side is wrong? You deserve to enjoy the news.
That's what's up, Robin. I'm your host, Mac James, from Stand Up for News. We're stand-up comics, and we tell the news. The news doesn't have any legs and can't stand up for its own self. Join us and special guests like local hero comics like Donnie Stopa, all the way to legends like Tommy Chong, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. here on WTAN Radio.
Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drink of flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN 10 Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Givers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good? Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
It's time for Be Local Buzz with Devin. Devin is the owner and publisher of Stroll Harbor Bluffs and Be Local Beaches magazines. She's also the founder of Raising Relief Foundation and the host of Be Local Buzz on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Now here's Devin, your community connector.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Be Local Buzz with Devin, your community connector, here every Thursday from 4 to 5 on Tan Talk Radio. And I'm loving the people that I'm seeing in the studio today. They're all pretty hot. That's all I'm going to say. They're very, very good looking. And we're going to find out why they're so good looking, I guess, later, huh? So how did everyone do with Debbie? She was kind of like a little witch on a broomstick for my house. It was not fun. We lost our fence and shrubs and electricity and internet for over a day. So I hope that everyone didn't have to deal with that kind of stuff. But if you did, we have the best businesses, and that is in strollharborbluffs.com. Go to our website for any great businesses that you want. So speaking of that, I have to say hi to Glenn. I'm sorry, my producer. I didn't even say good afternoon to him yet.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today? How was Debbie for you?
Mild sauce.
Okay. All right. She was with a little witch for us, but that's okay. All right. I can't say the other word, or I would, but I won't. So I love finding the hidden gems, the businesses that are different, that are niche, that are just like really cool businesses. And last week I had David Siracusa on my show, and he's an actor. He's what does he write? Books. He writes movies, and he's a director of movies. And he also told me that he just opened up this K75 Stunt Academy, and it's actually right down the street from Cryo Studio. Oh. It's on Pinellas Road. And what it is, it's so cool. They just joined our network, Be Local and Stroll Harbor Bluffs. So we're so excited. So it's a gym. I would say it's for the daredevils. It's for those adrenaline high people, because they teach you how to do stunts like they do in the movies. It's so cool, like rolling down stairs, like how to fall downstairs, or how to jump on heights, or how to get dragged by a car. But there's a whole big cardio thing. It's totally cool. So I can't wait to get people in there and start bragging about it and telling everyone about it. But that is so cool. And they're open right now. It's K75 Stunt Academy. Again, it's on Pinellas Road, and you can go to their website, K75stuntacademy.com. So I'm going to do like little teasers for my guests today. What do you think, Glenn? Should I? What do you think?
Hey, you're the boss.
Oh, thank you. I like that. I like being boss babe. It's cool. So do we have a song for Alberto? Yeah? Okay.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. Let's see what we have.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free.
Feeling good. That's what you do. You make people feel good. I looked at these numbers and I pulled something from the internet today, and 69 to 84% of women experience body dissatisfaction, and 30% are men. So, Alberta, welcome to Be Local Buzz with Devin. Love having you on. I only have the best guests here who are the most experienced and great at care about their customer.
Awesome.
So, can you tell everyone who you are and what's the name of your business? And why would I play that song for you?
Yeah, fantastic. I love this song because we are all about feeling good and empowering people. So Cryo Studios, we have a location here in Clearwater, Cryo Studios Clearwater. And what we do is we specialize in helping people achieve their body and or facial goals with the use of non-invasive aesthetics. Okay, so whether you need to or would you like to reduce any fat, any stubborn fat in a particular body part, because what happens is that when women and men, they're going to the gym and they're having a pretty decent diet and they're also working out, there's always spots where you can't get rid of that spot, right? Whether it's a lower belly pooch, or maybe it's some cellulite or some inner thigh or outer thigh, or maybe some arms, and a big misconception is that people think, this is just for weight loss or just fat reduction and just go and do diet and exercise. But the truth is that it doesn't work that way. You pass 35, you start losing collagen, elastin, and you get into your 40s and your 50s and your hormones change. And so it becomes very difficult for people to stay fit. And some people really like to look good and feel good. So how can we empower those people? How can we help them with our treatments so that they not only feel good on the outside, but they get empowered and feel better about themselves, improve their confidence, self-esteem, and they just feel good about looking good.
Absolutely. Oh my God. So it's called Cryo Studio Clearwater. And where is that located?
So we are at the Bel Air Landings at 1465 South Fort Harrison. In the second floor.
Okay. So I have to do a little trivia. I do a little trivia and I try to stump the guests. So are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Let's see. I almost gave you Jason's question. Okay. Where did the word cryo come from?
So,
and what does it mean?
Coming from, I'm not sure where it originated, but cryo is essentially the science of cold.
Yes.
Okay. So,
ding, 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 ding. He's a winner.
So I got it.
You can stay.
And I'm glad you asked that because, we call in Cryo Studios because we use cryotherapy, but a lot of people think that when they Google Cryo Studios or they look up cryotherapy, everybody thinks cryotherapy simply means the submersion tanks, either a cold plunge or the tanks where you get cold. But that is just one modality of cryotherapy. There are more than 300 modalities of cryotherapy. So most of our devices are called cryo T-shock, which means the use of cryotherapy with thermal shocks. So that's where the T-shock comes into play. And we're just using cryotherapy for aesthetics, whether it's fat reduction, skin tightening, cryocellulite. We can also do drainage with cryotherapy. So our goal is to use cryotherapy to improve the skin and to just help people look better.
Excellent. Okay. I'm glad you yes, cryo means cold. Very good. And it was, my husband would say, my husband's Greek, of course, we all know my snarky Greek husband, Mark. He would say that everything was invented by the Greeks. So next time you're on the show, if I ask who invented it, just say the Greeks, you're probably right. So,
all
okay.
Right, I love it.
And you did talk about the benefits of it. You talked about weight loss. Now, also, what about like arthritis or inflammation or pain or anything? Is this good for that? Are your machines good for that?
Our devices do have physiotherapy settings.
Okay.
And so you could technically speaking, do physiotherapy, but we like to stay in a really tight niche.
I love it.
Because we want to become the experts in a field. So if we were now doing a physiotherapy, we have to get a physiotherapist and go. It's a whole different direction. And our goal is to have non-invasive devices that we can combine to then give the client a certain result, right? Because, for example, our cryo T-shock can help you. Let's say you want to reduce fat on your lower abdomen, right? So we can do that, but we can pair that with a TEC device, which essentially does 30,000 contractions on you on the body part that you want to work on. So, for example, let's say you want to work on lower abdomen, so we can pair the fat reduction with the muscle contractions. So now you're getting 30,000 contractions in 30 minutes. Now we're building the muscle as well. So we're destroying the fat with the use of cold. We're building the muscle with the contractions. And then we have presotherapy. Presotherapy was invented for lymphedema and edema, for swelling of the limbs. And our device has about 18 different types of treatment with presotherapy, which helps you for lymphatic drainage. So we clean the fat cells with cryo T-shock, building the muscle with the TEC, and then with the presotherapy, we're getting rid of all your toxins, junk, speeds up your metabolism, your circulation. So the goal is to combine those things. So we want to stay in that niche of non-invasive aesthetics and how we can help clients get to their body goals faster.
Wow. So like I said, I bring on the best in their field. Jason, right? I mean, come on. Phenomenal. So if you're just tuning in, I'm talking to Alberto, and he's the owner of Cryo Studio in Sarasota and in Tampa and Clearwater.
Yeah.
And it's Be Local Buzz with Devin. We're here every Thursday on TAN Talk Radio. So let's continue with Alberto. If you have a question for him, I always forget to do this, but it's 727-441-3000 if anyone wants to call in and have a question, okay? So you talked a little bit about lymphatic drainage. You have an actual machine that will do that, and because a lot of people come out of surgery, right? Yeah. And they need to have that. What else? Surgery, and what else? What is it used for?
So presotherapy was invented for lymphedema and edema, so swelling of the limbs, water retention.
Got it.
So that's presotherapy. With presotherapy, you can do lymphatic drainage. You can also do treatments for water retention, which help with cellulite, and for recovery as well. Now, lymphatic drainage, you can do it in several ways. Okay. Many people that go into surgery, like you just mentioned, have to do like a manual type of lymphatic drainage where they go to a masseuse or someone who is certified in that type of drainage. But it can get pretty messy, right? Because you're actually getting fluids out of the body through those incisions and that sort of thing. So we don't do lymphatic drainage for post-surgery. We do it strictly on the presotherapy device so that you can just get better circulation and just get your toxins out of the body through the device.
Well, it's fascinating, and I want to try this. I'll tell you that right now. It's so cool. So what does it look like? Someone calls you or goes on your website. How does someone get in contact with you? And what's the first step? Now, a lot of people are nervous, okay? So we're talking about 84% of women are walking around not liking their bodies. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, their self-esteem is low. They're going to be like, oh my God, I'm not going to go in there. They're going to think I'm too heavy. I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. How do you help them overcome that, to at least pick up the phone or email you to get past that? What can you say to our listeners and our viewers? Oh, hi, I always forget about YouTube. Hi, thanks for watching us. What can you say to those people?
Yeah. So a lot of what we do in terms of our marketing, and we're also always working to improve that and just educating people on what they can do, right? So because a lot of people, people on Facebook and Instagram, they can be really nasty. And it's crazy how just behind the keyboard, they just want to say all sorts of things. So we run a lot of ads, and people like, oh, just stop eating, or just hit the gym. This is fake and this and that. But what they don't understand is that there are people who are working out and who are having that, and they just don't feel good about themselves. So we empower them and we let them know that we can create custom protocols to help them achieve their goals, and that it's not invasive, so they don't have to get cut, or they don't have to get shots, injections, or anything like that. But our goal is for us to make them feel comfortable first and for them to understand that we are there to help them. So the first step is to schedule either a free consultation or a first-time client special with our customer success specialist, which is Laura, and Laura's here with us today. So they will book an appointment with her, and she'll sit down with you half an hour, and she will talk about what your insecurities are and what your goals are, what have you done before to try to achieve your body goals. And yeah, it's a good conversation, and she goes into that with the clients.
And this is Alberto from Cryo Studio Clearwater, and he referred to Laura, who we'll be hearing from later. So how does it work? Do they get one treatment? What's the best practice? 1, 3 treatments, 6 treatments? What do you think is the best practice, average person?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So first off, everybody's different because either you want to work on skin tightening or fat reduction or muscle building. So it depends on what each client's goals are, also what the age range is. If we have a woman in their late 50s, maybe they have hormone imbalances and things like that, so they may require more presotherapy, for example. Or someone who has less fat, but they can't get to the gym as much, maybe they require more TEC for the muscle contractions to build that muscle.
And what is TEC? I love these people. They all come on, the experts come on, and they think that's normal. Everybody people know what that means. What does it mean?
So TEC is essentially, I came up with that abbreviation for targeted electromagnetic contractions.
Wait, so you made that up and you expect me to know that?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Well, I think we need to do an Ask the Expert. Maybe we can start branding your little acronym over there.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. But yeah, to answer your question, this is something that is non-invasive. So whenever we're doing a fat reduction treatment, for example, we are bringing the temperature of the fat cells below 0. Okay. And the fat cells can't survive when they start dropping below 17 Celsius. It's a process called apoptosis, and it is scientifically proven. So also very important for clients to understand that everything we do and the devices that we use have scientific data behind them. So if it's not proven to work by science, then we don't use it. Okay. But since it is non-invasive, when we're killing the fat cells, we're not cutting. What happens? Those dead fat cells become cellular debris, and your body has to dispose of them over the next 14 days. So because of that, it's not a treatment. It's not for a one-time client. Let me just come and lose a couple inches. Because in reality, many places advertise lose an inch in half an hour and this and that. But in reality, you don't know, because you don't have clients who come do one treatment and then come 6 weeks later and do in-body composition analysis and their weight and their thermographic imaging. So you really don't know how much someone actually results get from one treatment. So our goal is to get them on a treatment plan, and usually anywhere from 5 treatments or 10 treatments.
Okay.
So on average, they're going to lose an inch within 30 days of targeted fat reduction, and you'll start seeing more results after the 3rd and 4th treatment.
Okay. So one last question, and then we're going to turn it over and we'll get back to you. But, you talked about that inch, and I think that is kind of sneaky tricky for people to say that.
Yes.
Because people think an inch is an inch. I'm going to lose it on my waist, an all inch. But it's just like a little bit out of this toe, a little bit out of your thigh, a little bit out of your arm. So the whole body might lose an inch, but it won't be very noticeable. Is that correct?
That's correct for other modalities.
Yes.
Not
Other
for us.
modalities. No, I know that.
Us,
when you said that, you talked about other marketing, and people were saying like they lose an inch and they come in, but that's kind of like
I mean, coincidentally, I just saw an ad that said lose 8 inches with one treatment. I was like, well, that's crazy. Well, of course, because they're taking the legs and the abdomen and this and that. So when I speak about a client losing an inch, we have done over 10,000 treatments. So we have the data that shows that people who came and did our treatments in the first 30 days, on average, they lost 1 inch of circumference on their abdomen. Okay?
I saw you.
And it seems like it's not a lot. Okay. It's like, 1 inch is not a lot, but it's 2 dress sizes or 2 pant sizes. So it is a lot. And second of all, if you wanted to lose 1 inch naturally by working out and dieting, you would need to lose approximately 8 pounds of weight.
That's a lot.
So with us, you can come, not necessarily lose the weight, and still lose inches. But our goal is for people, if you're coming and making an investment, then be mindful about your food and your workout and that sort of thing. Because if you're going to come in and do treatments and spend a couple $1,000s, why are you then going out and eating pizza and burgers and gaining weight? And we're tracking your progress. So we're doing body composition analysis. You're getting weight every couple of weeks, thermographic imaging analysis. And that just means thermographic imaging means we're going to take a picture of your subcutaneous fat with a device that reads the temperature of the skin. So it's very scientific. So not only we're not going to tell you you're going to get results, we're going to show you with accurate scientific data that your results are there.
That's awesome. And Alberto, one more time, tell everyone the name of your place, location, and how to get in touch with Laura.
Exactly. So it's Cryo Studio Clearwater. We're at 1465 South 4th Harrison at the Bel Air Landings. Our website is cryostudioclearwater.com. And you can also call 727-610-2734.
So very impressive. We just had an impressive interview with Alberto over here, owner of Cryo Studios in Tampa, Sarasota, and Clearwater. So if you missed that, you could always go back to YouTube, TAN Talk YouTube, and look for Be Local Buzz with Devin. So and their location is actually in the same building as Wildflower Cafe, which we all know and love. So they're also one of our sponsors in our Be Local. So shout out to them. Great food. Okay, so our next guest, let's see if we have a little song for Mr. Jason. The best that deals with your badass cars and boats and whatever else you want. But I got a little trivia, and we're talking to. We're just going to bring on Jason, and he's from. I'll let you tell your own name.
My name is Jason. I own Yinzer Auto Detail. But honestly, before we hop right into that, Alberto, you did phenomenal and had my extreme interest the entire time. I know we've been beaming, but can I ask?
Of course. Oh my God, I love this interactive.
So. The question that came to my head was with your with the work you've done so far and the inch that you said that people can get after the 30 days, have you noticed any correlation with a reduction in back pain at all? Because I know normally if you lose any weight or any inches, regardless off of your abdomen, it just makes it easier on back pain. Have you noticed a correlation at all?
Not necessarily in the first 30 days, but some clients, our ideal client is not overweight, although we do get clients that, are 30, 40 pounds overweight. And when they start the program, by the way, with our special or whenever they come in, they get a free nutrition guide and a free workout guide. And we let them know whenever they sit with Laura is like, hey, you guys, if you're not on a healthy journey, this is a great way to get on one. And because of that, they do start, doing it better with their diet and exercise. And once they start losing weight, there's definitely a correlation with the back pain. Okay. But, I can tell you also, I'm sorry, I keep rambling, it's okay. But with the muscle building treatment that we have, a lot of back pain is because your posture is not strong enough. So when you strengthen your core, then that back pain kind of goes away as well.
So now now that we've changed the subject, okay, it's Jason who asked a question and now the whole show just took a turn. No, it's good. I like unexpected things because you never know what to expect on Be Local Buzz with Devin. We're known for that. So back pain. I can give you 3 recommendations right now on things to do. First of all, Pilates. The Reformer Pilates at the Pilates House located off of Missouri. is what I use to get rid of my back pain because it really strengthens your core, just like Alberto said. So when you're strengthening your core, you're helping your back. That's amazing. And I want to do 2 shout outs for medical massage people that we have in our network. Kathy Kiffel is amazing at the calming effect. And we also have Sally, who is crazy amazing with her. She went to school over in Tampa and some other state or whatever for medical massage. And she's at Sally Mae Day Spa. And that's on Seminole Boulevard. Okay. So those are 2 shout outs to them. 3, because those are the things that help me through back pain.
Okay. Very good.
And then, of course, this would help too. Yeah,
Over time,
absolutely.
Definitely. What I have noticed for me recently, because I've had back pain for a long time, but posture is probably the best thing that's helped me so far. I've never tried Pilates. Yoga was pretty hard whenever I did try it, but I've noticed my postures because I my shoulders slouch, so I've noticed just fixing that up a little bit just on a daily basis has helped a lot. So
okay, so Heather, I'm bringing another guy to the class. He's going to be coming with me to Pilates house at 8 a.m. That's when we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. That's really
you can do that. It's great classes. Okay, so and I go 6 days a week.
6.
Yeah. Hey. Okay. So we played a song, Highway Star. Why did I play that? Because I have a trivia. I have to start off with trivia.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where was the first car wash business and when?
Let's go. All
right, think of cars.
Boston.
Wait, no. Think of where cars.
Okay.
Cars. Where's
Michigan.
the big manufacturer? Yeah, Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah,
Okay.
Detroit.
Right.
And it happened in 1914.
Okay, I was going to say 16. You got to go ways
Oh,
back.
liar.
I swear, 16 came to my head.
Listen to this.
Because if you think cars,
yesterday.
once cars came around, someone wanted to take care of them. So you got to think ways back.
All right. We'll give you that. Yay. Jason got it right. Okay. What do you do?
Me? Yeah. I do auto detailing. I'm a mobile detailer right here in Clearwater and Bel Air, of course, the Harbor Bluffs area. I can do interior detailing, exterior detailing, ceramic coating, graphene coating, all of it.
Okay, again, he's talking like we know what he's talking about.
Yes.
What is the difference between ceramic coating and graphic coating?
Graphene coating?
Oh, see, I can't even say it. Alberto, I can't even say it. And he wants me to know what that means. And our listeners, okay.
So the main difference is just the nanoparticles that are involved in each one. As I was explaining to Alberto earlier, is ceramic coating has nanoparticles of actual ceramic in it. Graphene coating has nanoparticles of graphene that are in it. Both of them on the hardness scale are the absolute top 2 that you can get. Recent research that I've at least looked into say that graphene coatings are a little bit stronger than ceramic, but both of them give you maximum protection on your car.
Okay. And what are some things that's important for? Why is
Especially
it important
down
to get your
here
car?
is the sun.
Yeah.
The sun beats paint up so fast. And you can use standard waxes and whatnot, but they're not going to last nearly as long. Or they're not going to give you nearly the protection that your car actually needs.
So the ceramic coating, that's a process that takes a while, right?
Yes.
But it's guaranteed or warranted for years, isn't it?
It depends.
Okay.
Depends on who you end up going through. The company that I use.
Well, we're only going through Yinzer Auto, so whatever detailing, whatever he uses is what we're using, right?
Yeah, so I use a company called System X. If anybody is familiar with West Coast Customs, any car people in here?
I've seen them.
Okay, so it's the official ceramic coating of them, which is a national brand.
Excellent.
With their top products, which is either 8-year or 10-year,
wow,
you can get a lifetime warranty on them as long as you do the top coat application every year, which is a simple process that you just have to clean up the ceramic with.
Excellent.
But yeah, so those ones are warranted. They also give you a Carfax registration as well, so a couple added bonuses with them.
Absolutely. So that would be helpful for resale. I would imagine that would be
actually,
because I always say resale
you have to
is
fight
the
for
worst,
a little bit, man. Yeah, it'll help.
Absolutely, but then it protects the paint. And then I read something that it can actually, if you keep getting your car detailed, it actually protects the sidewall cracks on tires.
Oh, on tires, I don't know about that.
Oh,
I haven't coated any tires before.
Not necessarily coated. I'm talking detailing.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily. You do detailing.
Oh, yeah, because then but things just don't get stuck in them. The more that any dirt and debris gets caught into any paint, tires, plastic, and the sun beats it in, it's going to ruin it over time, no matter what. Quickly.
Okay, so I need you to detail my car more often because I had like 9 flat tires last year.
Oof, that's rough. Is that the tire? Is that driving?
No, I don't know. I think my husband, my little snarky Greek husband, might be putting nails in my driveway. But I don't know for sure. I haven't actually caught him. I'm going to switch the camera so it goes in my car. But that's kind of weird. 9 flat tires in 1 year.
And that's tough.
Wow, that's crazy. I have a quick question for Jason, if you don't mind. Ceramic coating or graphene coating, does it work on the Cybertruck?
Oh, I don't believe so. The aluminum.
That'd be interesting. Huh?
Why, do you have one of those?
Yeah, we brought it in today.
I did see that outside. I was like, this is pretty cool, man.
I like that.
But I don't think so because of the material.
Okay, yeah, interesting. All right.
Oh. Well, I have to check that out. We might have to use that in a photo shoot. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cybertruck's pretty cool, man.
That sounds great. Okay, so I got a good question. This is very interesting to me. What was used back in the 1800s that we know now as wax? What were they using to wax in the 1800s? Because they had a lot of dirt roads. Everything was dirt roads, right? So all the dust and everything was flying around and damaging their cars and all motor vehicles.
I want to say some sort of like fat material.
Yes, it was animal fats.
Oh,
there you go.
Yes.
See, you learned so much.
Same as soap.
You use so much, and you learned so much on Be Local Buzz with Devin. It's all this useful information, so you can take home and quiz people. Okay, so talk about the process with you. Now, you said mobile. That means you go to people's houses, work, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So cool.
It has its benefits, but also, man, this Florida heat is tough. The temperature on a car is just out of control. Like in the middle of the day, you really can't do too much about it. So.
Right. So do you do it?
Try to make sure I get all of my details done in the morning. Once that afternoon hits, unless I have a good shaded spot, then no, you can, but the results are not going to be nearly as good.
So I hope you're using sunblock. Oh,
no.
I gotta go cry. Come on, let's talk about a little skincare.
The number one thing we tell our clients is you gotta wear sunscreen because you'll age real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't.
And then you're gonna have to see Dr. Michael at Garden Medical Spa for a little facelift.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Because I didn't use sunscreen when I was younger, and that's just it. That's what happens. You get wrinkles and wrinkles. So
yeah, I'll start using some sunscreen because I am out in the sun all the time. I love to golf too, so I'm definitely out in the sun.
But the bad thing about being in Florida is the skin cancer is pretty bad. You know, you don't want to mess with that stuff. All right. So how does someone get in contact with you? Besides strollharborbluffs.com.
That's right. The easiest way is just give me a call at 727-432-5106. I have my phone on me at all times. You can give me a call or a text. I'll answer it and then, send you over my pricing and we can go from there depending on what you're looking for.
Okay. So, and I was just going to say, how does that look? Is it different? Does it vary cars or trucks? And you do boats too?
Sometimes, for sure. Yeah, I haven't dabbled too much. Just like Alberto, I like my niche. I like cars a lot. So
well, it's good to stay in your lane. Exactly. I just like to ask because I don't want to miss anything, right? Mm-hmm. So again, what does that look like? They contact you, and what's the next step? You go over, like, is that on the phone? Or you actually go see the vehicle, or what works?
A little bit of both. Depends on what somebody really is looking for. If they're just looking for a quick detail, then normally it's a conversation or a phone call. If they're looking for more in-depth service, like a ceramic coating, then I will typically go and see the vehicle because there's some things I can fix and there's some things you can't fix. And with a coating that's going to last so long, you just want to make sure all steps are met and all visuals are met before doing it. So a bigger service, I'll definitely go and see in person, and then we'll talk about the cost after. Depending on how much work really wants to go into it. Because as we were talking quickly before, is the process beforehand, you can do multiple steps of polishing on paint to bring it back almost perfect, really. Yeah. And depending on how in-depth somebody really wants to bring their car back to life, if it's an older car, now newer cars are a lot easier to work on because there's less scratches, less swirls. But with older cars, if you want to bring them back, then it involves more steps. And that's where you can determine if you want a low cost or a higher cost, depending on the results that you want.
Okay. So now I have a question for you. What about when people buy new cars? Mm-hmm. Is that something that they need right away, or are dealerships doing it now automatically? I don't talk to me about new cars because people buy new cars.
Yeah. So I was in the car industry for a little bit. I was selling cars, and the big push when I was getting out of the industry was putting coatings on vehicles. My thoughts on it are it's going to be better than wax. So it's going to be good, but it's not going to be great. The product that I use is going to be great. So they'll guarantee probably a couple years. With the Florida sun, you always kind of want to look on the lower end of that unless your car is completely covered.
Okay.
But after you get a new car, really depends on you. If you love your car and you want to have the best protection, then it still goes through the polishing process. Because even a car that's brand new is going to have swirls on it. It's going to have scratches just from life,
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's very cool, the detailed eye that Jason has to have. Because I've looked at a car before and I've been like, no, it's great. It doesn't have anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, look at it from this angle. And you see like almost like a spider web or something. Like, I guess that's the best way I can describe it. So that's what you're talking about. It might look good from unexperienced, detailed eye, but you got it to really show the person.
Yeah, most people that love their car know what swirls, how much of a pain they are, man. They're ridiculous. And on especially darker cars are obnoxious. If you have a flat black car, that is going to show every swirl, every scratch that will be there.
I don't know why people own black cars in Florida. That's all I'm just going to say. I don't get it. But actually, you go into a parking lot, everything seems like it's white here, right? So I have a great connection for you. Someone that just joined our network, Bel Air Storage.
Okay.
They've been around forever. It's a family-owned business, and they have a warehouse on Myrtle that actually stores people's vehicles.
Okay.
Snowbirds that, come here, buy the car, or they have these like little sexy cars that they just want to use on the weekend or don't want to use. But that would be a great connection for you. So I'm going to introduce you to Amy. So, yeah. So
Amy. Hi, Amy. I hope you're watching, but hi, Amy.
I didn't know I was going to do a call out on you, but here you go. So, and that's what we do. Stroll Harbor Bluffs and Be Local Beaches magazine and network really spend a lot of time seeking the best business owners. And we're not like, sending out price sheets. Here you go. Just, come buy an ad. It's not about that. It's about finding people that are really experienced and knowledgeable about what they do. People that care about their customer and the aftercare about their customer, care about their team. There's nothing worse than to see a manager or an owner, business owner reprimanding a team member. That's just not cool because it shows you what kind of person they really are. And then cares about other business owners because we're all here together, right? We got to support locals and then care about the community. So when you have those core values, nothing but great things can happen.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for the best businesses, go on our website, strollharborbluffs.com. Go to our sponsors. You can see all their logos, and the link goes right to their websites. So, Jason, back to you. What do you do, and how can someone find you? And how long does that coating? How long does a detailing car cost? Not cost. I don't want to say that. I mean cost. Everyone, don't be calling in and saying how much does it cost. How long does it take? And then how about that other super coating? How long does that take?
For sure. So my name is Jason. I own Yinzer Auto Detail. You can give me a call at 727-432-5106. If you want a standard detail, I typically take about 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
That's interior and exterior, and you get a wax finish on it anyway. It's just what I like to do. And then if you want a ceramic coating, that can take, again, that depends on how in-depth that you really want to. Typically, it's in that 6 to 10 hour range to bang one out in a full day. But I spend 3 days on a car before just to make sure. A good friend from up north, man, anybody from Pittsburgh, up north, I drove to Orlando and got his car and brought it the whole way back here and spent, a full 3 days bringing it back to life. So it really just depends on how in-depth you want it to go.
Because Jason has high standards.
Exactly.
That's why he's here on Be Local Buzz on Tan Talk Radio today.
Right.
So thank you. We'll get back to you after, but we have one more beautiful guest in the studio, I see. Well, we actually see two, but one's not going to talk. But you're a beautiful guest too. And we appreciate you being here. Glenn, everything okay over there? All right. Do we have a song for Laura? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. Cause I keep on crushing it till I am done. I didn't get here by accident, no, I've been gunning it since I was young. Better believe I'll be standing here, there ain't no moon that can outshine the sun. I didn't get here by accident, no, I've been gunning it since I was young.
Laura is also part of the Cryo Studios that we've been talking to Alberto, the owner, and she is probably the one that does everything. Sorry, that's usually how it works.
Pretty much.
And you are bringing that fire back to people's lives. And we talked earlier that 69 to 84% of women actually experience, they hate their bodies. They're really dissatisfied with their bodies, 30% of men. And when you're dissatisfied with your body, it's a head game, okay? You have low self-esteem. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't want to go shopping. You don't want to go to events. You don't feel like doing anything because you're ashamed of yourself and your self-esteem is so low. So what you do is bringing that fire back to people. So tell us again about Cryo Studios.
Absolutely. So we do everything from slimming to cellulite to skin tightening. A lot of women is the majority of our clients. We do some men too. But going through like those hormonal changes and just all the fun things that we get as we're getting older. So really being able to help target fat loss, cellulite, like what else can you really do for cellulite? That's sometimes very genetic.
Right.
And there's just not a lot of treatments out there. So non-invasive ways to just make yourself look and feel better.
I'm really glad you brought up genetics because I have a girlfriend, hi Lily, who gets very mad at me because she'll say something about muscle, right? And she'll like, oh, you work out all the time. I don't. Part of it is genetics, and she gets mad at me for saying genetics but it's true.
It's true.
If you have those genes in there, there's nothing you can do about it unless you do something like go to Cryo Studio to help with that. So absolutely. So talk about genetics and how don't be ashamed. It's just something that you're born with, but they can fix it.
Absolutely. So our best client is somebody that has those little areas that need help. So we have people that work out all the time and they have like a little bit of a pooch, and you can't get rid of it because when you're losing weight, you're losing it everywhere. You're not being able to target it. So we're able to go in there and naturally get rid of those areas. Building muscle, we can use the TEC to really help build those muscles. Like who wants to do 30,000 sit-ups in 30 minutes? I don't know if I could.
Who could?
I don't know if I could or want to. So we can do that too to help build.
Earlier in the show, I promised Alberto that I would help him get this branding out of the TEC. So can you please explain what that means again?
Okay, definitely. So it's a targeted electromagnetic contractions. So essentially they are like little MRI machines that contract your muscles.
Yeah.
So it's helping build your muscles and it's in an involuntary way. So you're going to wake up the next day and it's not going to hurt.
Cool. Love it. I love it.
It's really cool. I love like the lazy fix. So
yeah. I mean, hey, who needs a gym? You can just go over here and take a little nap and let it do its thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
You can do your work. So bring your laptop, come hang out.
Right. So I know a lot of women, obviously, that talk about this back fat.
Yes.
Is this something that you can help with?
Absolutely. Because that's another spot that's hormonal, genetic, things that we can't really control. And how do you work that out? It's a tough area. So we can definitely get in there and take care of that. That's a lot of people that we have.
Okay. And then another thing, I know women, they hate their arms. So every woman hates their arms. So I'm like, okay, so everyone hates their arms. Don't wear long sleeves. We live in Florida.
Right.
Everyone just wear sleeveless shirts and we'll all show off our horrible arms. But seriously, what can you do for arms for people?
Oh, everything.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, definitely. So if you have that hormonal part down there, like we can get rid of the fat, skin tightening we can do.
Oh, good.
We know everybody is on Ozempic these days. So what happens is your skin starts to sag. So we can also help with that too. We've been seeing a lot of that. And it's really cool that you can do something besides having to get the surgery where it tightens your skin or
I agree. So yeah, I like that you brought up that Ozempic because that is such a craze out there. I mean, you have to assume everyone that you know that has lost weight is on Ozempic, and they probably are. So they need to come to you because that's part of it, right? You actually lose your fat, right? So of course your skin is going to hang off, I imagine, right?
Because it's so quick. You're losing that weight super fast, so your skin doesn't have time to retract. But what's great if you want to lose weight with us, instead of going that way, we do it slowly. So
Right.
your body's already kind of coming back together. So it's not that like quick
Right.
loss.
Well, sooner or later down the road, like that whole fen craze that was out there back in the day. And then all of a sudden they pulled it off the market because it's like, oh, it's not good for you.
Yeah.
We're just a matter of, I don't know, time before the same thing's going to happen with Ozempic, right?
So aesthetically, we can definitely help you.
Yeah. And that's definitely the way to go. Like, non-invasive. It doesn't hurt. Does it hurt?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's like an ice cube.
Okay.
Essentially. It doesn't.
Okay. And wasn't that found by cryo, that whole losing fat? Wasn't that found up in Boston by some doctors on people that were riding horses, right? Up north?
Sure.
And the saddle, and the saddle was so cold that they noticed that people were riding were actually losing their inner thigh fat. And they figured out, the scientists in Boston, and I'm not making this up, I can use you. He's looking at me like I have 4 horse heads or something. Yes?
So that's the first time I hear about the saddle being so cold in Boston and getting rid of that fat. But
Google it.
I do know there was this dentist who took some molars out of this child and told him he needed to have ice pops to recover and help with the swelling. So this kid went home and was just having ice pops in his cheek the whole time. And what happened is when he came back to see the doctor, he realized there was no fat in his cheek.
I heard that too.
And it was like, oh my God, what happened? So that's when they started making studies and they realized that yes, that cold actually scientifically is killing the fat cells.
Yes. I heard that ice pop one and the saddle.
That's a great one. We gotta replay the video.
Replay it. We're gonna ask her to Google
about
that.
it.
Okay, you're on it. All right.
Yeah, I guess
Thank
we should invent a little cryo device. They can just sit on it and get the inner thighs slimmed out. Just
Inner thighs are big
sitting on
because
there.
I'm telling you right now, especially living in Florida, if you have big inner thighs and they're rubbing against each other, you're getting diaper rash in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of inner thighs.
Yeah, tons of inner thighs.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
because it hurts.
Yeah, it does. It's Florida, and also we're in shorts and tank tops all the
Yes.
time. So you want to like look and feel your best, but you also want to be comfortable.
Okay, so we talked a little earlier, and I'm sorry. This is Laura, Cryo Studio. It's Feel Local Beach. I'm going to say in my magazine. It's Feel Local Buzz with Devin on TAN Talk Radio every Thursday, and we're always bringing you the best business owners here. So we talked with Alberto about lymphatic drainage. I have a little trivia for you about that. Do you know who developed it? Oh, maybe let's get back to Alberto, who's questioning my saddle theory. Go ahead.
I do not know who invented the lymphatic drainage, but I do know it was invented for lymphedema and swelling of the limbs.
It was from Danish doctors, Emil Vader, and in 1930, and his wife Estrid helped people with chronic colds, and they noticed their lymph nodes were swollen. So they started reducing it with cold and massage and stuff like that.
Nice, love it. Estrid.
Yeah, we learn a lot of stuff. Did you find it?
I did not.
Okay.
All that comes up is it too cold for horses?
Not horses. What you doing? Where did
You said a horse saddle.
Yeah. But it started with
horse saddle
doctors in Boston.
Look up the origin of cryotherapy.
Cryo, cold, cool. I don't know. Look at something. Okay. So Laura, I'd like to know what your role is. So we know he's the mastermind, and so Alberto. I'm really impressed by your knowledge.
Thank you.
How'd you get involved with this? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Give me
That's funny. So I've been in the wellness space for a long time. I actually played tennis professionally before.
God, there's a good article.
Yeah. And so after that, I still own a tennis and fitness business as well. But for us, my wife's a fitness trainer, and so we have our own facility for tennis and fitness, and just working with her clients and my clients, and they're kind of like the perfect avatar for this type of stuff. So a good friend of mine in Tampa actually started telling me about this the cryo machine and the fat reduction and that sort of thing. So I finally said, okay, I got to look into this because it's a good way to get into something. I'm always been an entrepreneur, so I looked into it, and that's how it started. I just presented it to my clients. Everybody loved it, and it was just a hit from the start. So that's when I said, okay, maybe this is my calling, and I think it actually is my calling. We just opening more facilities now, and the goal is to open 100, 1,000 of these, and
awesome.
Help as many people as we can.
Congratulations. That's great. So, Laura, what do you do over there at Cryo Studios? And they're located on Fort Harrison in the same building as Wildflower Cafe. And what is it actually called? Veller Landing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's right across from our country club.
Yeah.
Yeah, Veller Country Club, which I have a photo shoot tonight at. So that's cool. So what is your role?
So I'm basically the face. So the first person that you meet with when you come into the studio. So I'm there to make sure that you feel comfortable, the technologies are explained to you, and we can develop a customized plan for what you want to work on.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Our customer success specialist is her title. Customer success specialist.
Do you have an acronym for that? CS?
CCS.
CSI agent.
CSS.
Okay, and again, what's the phone number and where you're located? I'm going to go around to our guests one more time.
727-610-2734.
Excellent. Alberto, Laura, thank you so much for being on VLocal Buzz today. Jason, let's do a little call out for you. I'm not done with you guys. I'm just trying to get, because some people are getting in their cars. Some people are just tuning us on. I want them to know that all these great people that we had on today.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jason. I own Yinzer Auto Detail. You can give me a call at 727-432-5106.
And then, did you guys hear what's going on? The Denim and Diamonds, the 7th annual Denim and Diamonds for Raising Relief Foundation. The swankiest fundraiser is happening November 16th. You guys need to be involved. It is so fun. So last year, or actually our spokesperson was Brett Raymer. He is from the show Tanked. If you guys ever watched that, I know he did a Tanked on a show over on Treasure Island somewhere, but he's out in Vegas. He flies in every year and he does some spokes things because he loves what Raising Relief Foundation does. It's a very swanky, cool event that you can wear jeans or bling up, so you can just put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt and come, or you can wear a gown with a jean jacket, which I wore last year. So some of the amazing things that Raising Relief Foundation does and what they've done this year, they supported Gold Star families through the Special Forces Foundation. They helped the foster angels, and they granted Christmas wishes to 30,000 foster children in our community. They partnered with Hero to a Child and Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranch and Party Parties on the Rock to provide financial support and community-wide toy drives for foster children. They are sending an underprivileged student from Seminole High School to perform in the Rose Bowl for Seminole High School. So that's really cool because to get into the Rose Bowl, it's an international people apply. And they only picked like 30 of them. And one in the Seminole High School got picked. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, cool. That's amazing.
It's so amazing. So there were some kids that weren't able to go. So Raising Relief Foundation stepped in and gave them some money. Provided fresh produce for senior citizens who's saving our seniors. Organized a community outreach food drive that we just did, Laura, right? Mm-hmm. And we ended up collecting over 600 pounds of food for the Kind Mouse. So
amazing.
That was amazing, right? We're totally supporting suicide counseling and awareness through Remember Me, providing domestic violence and sexual abuse therapy through Heels to Heels, volunteering and financially supports Help Us Gather, which provides social events for adults with special needs, aiding in the restoration of history through the arts at the Central Park Performing Arts Center and the Clearwater Historical Society. And we really support teen survivors of human trafficking through Top Buttons and Bridging Freedom. So Denim and Diamonds is a fun event. But what you're doing, any donation that you give, any ticket that you buy, you're going to have the best time of your life. However, you're helping the community. So Raising Relief Foundation only survives on this one event every year, and they use the money to give back to the community. So over the 7 years, so far, Raising Relief Foundation has given back $1.4 million into the community. So it's very cool, and we just want to keep doing that year after year. So get your tickets. It's November 16th at 6 p.m. at the Sheraton Sand Key, and you go to raisingrelieffoundation.org. Okay, so I'm getting the finger from Glenn. The finger of 2-minute warning, right? Yeah. And one more time, I want to thank Alberto, the owner of Cryo Studio Clearwater, Tampa, and Sarasota, and his great customer service expertise.
Customer success specialist, yeah.
Yes, Laura. And then Jason with Yinzer Auto. So talk 2 seconds about, you do auto detailing and the ceramic
coating and graphene coating, whatever you need.
Okay.
If you need your car to look good, I got you.
Absolutely. So get your tickets, get your outfits for Denim and Diamonds, November 16th. And I do want to say a shout out over to the First Class Framing, which is right there in Fort Harrison also. They're having a cool macrame class Saturday, and that's going to be from 11 to 1. So get over there if you like that macrame and stuff, or if you wanted to learn it, or if you just want to do arts and crafts with your girlfriends or guy friends or whatever, get over there. First Class Framing, and it's on Fort Harrison. And I'd like to thank you as always for being on V-Local Buzz with Devin. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday at 4:00.
Thank you.
I'm doing this tonight. You're probably gonna start a fight. I know this can't be right. Hey, baby, come on. I loved you endlessly, and you weren't there for me. So now it's time to leave and make it alone. I know that I can't take no more. It ain't no lie. I don't wanna see you out that door, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I had enough. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye, bye, bye. Just hit me with the truth. Now, girl, you're more than welcome to. So
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Monica Ricks. States as far north as New York are now warning residents to prepare for Tropical Storm Debbie. Governor Kathy Hochul.
We expect up to 6 inches of rain in some parts of our state. That'll mean 2 inches per hour, which is fairly cataclysmic.
Folks in Virginia also preparing.
Candles, ready to eat foods just in case the electricity go out. Bottled waters for sure.
Debbie's blamed for at least 7 deaths so far. Taylor Swift fans broke into song after spotting a proposal today in Vienna, Austria. Likely one of the only bright spots since the pop star's sold-out shows got canceled over possible terror attacks. CBS's Nicole Skenga has the latest.
At a press conference, Austrian police said the suspect arrested there was just 19 years old and had pledged allegiance to ISIS at the beginning of July.
Authorities have since found bomb-making materials, knives, and an emergency siren that could have been used to bypass security. The U.S. has sent more military power to the Mideast.
F-22 stealth warplanes arrived in the region today. They're part of a bigger U.S. military presence in the Middle East ahead of an expected Iranian counterattack on Israel. A military statement says the advanced planes will help mitigate a regional escalation by Iran or its proxies.
That's CBS's Cami McCormick. United Airlines has also suspended flights to Tel Aviv.